If you're not already life drawing on a regular basis, I need you to start like yesterday. I promise you that the skills that you learn in life drawing can have really beneficial effects for any kind of art that you do. My name is Sia, I'm a storyboard artist, and in the next 8 minutes, I'm gonna convince you that life drawing is the best thing ever. Not just for people like me that do entertainment art in some way. If you're into like sculpting or abstract art or anything experimental or really any form of art, I promise you that the skills you pick up in life drawing extend way beyond just the drawing part. Quick recap for those of you that might not know what life drawing is, or maybe you have an idea of what it is but you're not fully sure. Life drawing essentially is just sketching from a live human model. Usually nude and usually in timed poses of some sort. If you take a life drawing class, or even if you watch a life drawing reference video, usually they'll start off with 1-minute poses. The model will do a pose for 60 seconds, for example, and then do 5 of those, and your job is to basically draw those poses in those 60 seconds. As you go forward and as you get into the flow state, the poses get longer, so you'll go from like 60 seconds to 2 minutes to 5 minutes and sometimes like 10 or 20 minutes. There's lots of different formats for life drawing, but that's generally how it goes. Life drawing generally is not really about polished or finished work. It's about training your eye and your hand and your brain to work together, especially under pressure. It's absolutely foundational. Pretty much every art school that you apply to will either require life drawing in their portfolios, or they will have you do a ton of life drawing classes during your first year. It's an old tradition, but it's still relevant, even if you're used to working digitally all the time. You can do life drawing from online reference. It doesn't necessarily have to be in person, although that is best. In the description box below, I'm going to be linking some life drawing reference websites that I use on a regular basis. One of the biggest benefits you learn in life drawing is being able to see through the form and not just the structure or the outline of what you're drawing. Outlines can really flatten everything. Life drawing trains you to see through the form and through the structure and fully understand what it is that you're drawing. To understand volume, to understand angles, balance, weight. You basically learn the ability to go from drawing like puppets or flat paper dolls to actual characters and figures that feel real and intentional. It is essentially the difference between copying what something looks like or what you think it looks like versus actually understanding it and drawing it. It forces you to see, not just assume. You think you know what a shoulder or an ankle looks like, but until you're actually seeing it and foreshortening, you don't actually understand what it looks like. Life drawing is really great for getting out of your comfort zone and forcing you to actually observe. The second reason why I think everyone should pick up a life drawing habit has to do with focus and concentration. This applies to everyone, but especially goes for all of you neurodivergent artists out there. I have ADHD myself. I understand how difficult it can be to focus on your work, but when you're life drawing, there's a timer, there's that pressure, there is the structure that you need. You have a very clear objective, there's no distractions, it's just you and the model. It's so easy to get in the groove and get in that flow state when you have a timer dictating every single step that you do. If I'm ever feeling overwhelmed about drawing, or if I haven't drawn in a few days and I'm feeling a bit rusty, life drawing immediately gets me back in the zone. There's no perfectionism to be seen, it's just drawing. By the way, my ADHD coaching program for artists has a few spots available. Link is going to be in the description below. Life drawing is so good for building a strong visual library. You have to remember, life drawing isn't necessarily just about drawing super fit models with like perfect musculature and everything. Ideally, you would have models of all body types and all different shapes and sizes. It's especially fun when your figure drawing model is costumed in some way. Those costumes especially add another layer of challenge. And it's really, really good for forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. Every time you draw from life, you are essentially feeding your brain real information, and it's going to inform your art going forward. That visual library is what you pull from when you draw from imagination. Artists who stylize, I'm looking at all of you anime artists out there, you need life drawing more than anyone. This one's for those of you that are in entertainment art in some way, so comics, animation, film, TV, games, anything that's part of our media landscape. Gesture drawing especially is incredibly useful if your job involves drawing the human form in any capacity. If you're anything like me, you took your life drawing classes freshman year of art school and then you never touched it ever again because you thought that you were over it. No, it's like a thing that professionals do all all the time. It's really good for you. Doing life drawing, especially with quick poses, I'm talking like 30 to 60 seconds, at most 2 minutes, teaches you to capture movement and energy really fast. You quickly learn to boil down the essence of a pose and how to simplify things, and that energy that you're able to capture bleeds into everything else that you do. You can do gesture drawing with props as well. I use this website called Line of Action for all of my figure drawing when I'm not able to make it to an actual class. And they have a setting where you can do props and environments, and it's really, really useful. Because I don't draw anything in detail, right? Like, my job is to just get the drawings down, like, really fast and loose and move on. Life drawing with environments and props especially has been incredibly useful. When you do gesture drawing with animals especially, like, that opens up like a whole new world of forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. Because animals can look like literally anything. It teaches you to capture movement and energy and structure and form and all of that stuff like really fast. You don't realize how difficult it is to draw a horse until you're actually in the moment trying to capture one in like 60 seconds, and it ends up looking like a dog instead. If you're not already convinced to pick up a life drawing habit, the final reason that I'll give you is about burnout and perfectionism. I really think all artists, all creatives can relate to the feeling of feeling burnt out and overwhelmed and struggling with feeling excitement and joy about your craft. I love doing life drawing when I just feel like shit about my art. And the reason for that is because it's really simple. There is no perfectionism to be found in life drawing. So if I'm having a bad day, or if I'm in an art block, or if I just, like feel a bit depressed or unable to focus on something, life drawing is such a good warm-up. It's kind of like a reset button. And because it takes such little time, it never feels like an overwhelming or daunting project to take on. You can get a lot of life drawing done in just 5 to 10 minutes, especially if you use a lot of those videos as reference where the poses are already laid out for you and there's a timer already going. It's just so easy to just put on one of those videos and go to town on my iPad and not worry about anything else. All in all, life drawing is just a tool for artists to reconnect with fundamentals, sharpen their skills, and even build confidence. Whether you're doing comics or anime fan art or game assets, or even if you're a sculptor or an oil painter, I really think a lot of this stuff applies. I highly recommend finding the nearest life drawing session near you. If you don't have classes near you, just go to a cafe or a museum, or maybe a park or a bench that's by a really busy crosswalk so you can observe people and really practice the ability to capture things on paper really fast. I promise you that you'll see a difference in not just your art, but also your general overall demeanor with your craft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!